You are welcome back to this fresh edition of the teacher series. In this edition we have been looking at this cankerworm that we call examination malpractice. And so we have looked at two dimensions of it. We looked at the concept. We have equally looked at examination malpractice at the nursery level. Yes, we said that nursery pupils are also involved in exam malpractice that is purely orchestrated by the caregivers or instructors and teachers who are supposedly to be a guide and a help to these younger ones. And then today we want to look at this edition, this third edition of it precisely. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. It's free. It's free. Yes, encourage us. That's okay. You enjoy this is for free. I don't know for free. They're for free. Enjoy it and just encourage the ministry. You understand? So we're talking about the causes of examination malpractice. We're still going to look at the primary section of it. We'll look at the secondary aspect, and then we'll look at the tertiary aspect of it. What are the causes? Why is it that today malpractice is becoming a legal term? It's becoming something that you may not be able to do without. Something that everybody, both deep up and high, apart from selected few, everybody is involved. Why? Very simple. Number one is poor reading culture. Poor reading habit. Our children no longer read. Yeah, they can be on social media. They read online. They browse. They WhatsApp, they are Twitter, they are Facebook, they are equally on different platforms. They no longer read their books. You know why? Because some teachers don't read. You have the word. Some of our teachers do not read. How do you transfer? So I'm talking about it's all about transference of life. What is the you? They don't read. You no longer read. You don't read to prepare your lesson notes. You don't read to prepare for the class. You just garbage. Some people even copy the previous that have been using for the past 3-4 years. They just copy, transfer it to the new one, transfer it to the other one, and they keep doing that transfer that way. There is no reading culture in it. It has disappeared. And so they cannot inculcate same to the children. So our kids no longer read. Why? Because they know at the end of the day, whatever happens, they will pass. When they pass, they will pass. They have seen their colleagues. They have seen those who are ahead of them, who plays, who don't have time for anything, and they are making it. That's their confidence. So for them also, why would they make it? Why would they read? Why would they study? There's this poor reading culture. This culture needs to be revived. This culture needs to be called back. We need to bring back the readings and learning system. This is very important. And rewire their mentality that, look, this is not how it should be. For a father who will be making mistakes in the past, does not mean that this is the correct thing to do. You understand? So we want to bring them to a point where they can see the correctness of the correct thing they should do. Reading is a precursor to learning and passing exams. So apart from the teaching aspect of it, they have to read. They are encouraged to read their books. They are encouraged to read materials. They are encouraged to read things that are relevant to their academic. Sometimes the only read these days are not even things that are connected to the academic. If you go to some schools, you see a child in GSS 2 or GSS 1. Some of them even primary 5 and 6 and primary 4. Half of the books he or she is having, the novels that she's reading, are not things that has to do with the school. Some of these petit novels. Some of these are novels that have some funny things there. These are the things they read. And they say they are reading. No. When you're reading things, when you are studying things that are not relevant to what you're pursuing at that time, because there's a time for everything. Academic and learning time, there's a time frame to study. So when everything you're pursuing is not in line at that period of time, in line with what you're pursuing, you are simply digressing. You're off point. You're going off point. You're going on the track or you're going offline. So it is not going to be relevant to you. It may have a little impact anyway, but not a gross impact to what you are pursuing at that material time. That one of the reasons, poor reading culture. We'll come to see what we should do in order to restore the reading culture of our children. People have advocated that we should collect our phones from these children. If you ask what I'm going for or I'm going against, if you say collect, people will shout. If you say leave it, people will shout. The problem is that there is this extremism in everything we do. Those who are having the phones, there is no sensor, there's no guide. Children at that level who are below 15 are they supposed to be carrying Android phones? Say, it's 21st century. So 21st century, of course, they don't read. 21st century kids who are overexposed, they don't study. So that's one of the extreme there. Collect from them, no, they need to also be doing assignment with it. They need to be doing under a guide. There should be a guide. That's why they are under somebody. There should be a guide. There should be a monitor. Serious one. Monitor what they do. Of course, sometimes when they see you, there are things you may not be doing before them. There are things they see adults do with their phones. And that thing becomes an attractant. That thing attracts them. They want to actually explore to see what we want to do. We are the ones that are also exposed to these things. You cannot tell you, I don't do this, don't do that. You yourself, you're doing it before them. So there are things you can have a restriction as an adult before these ones. Tell them this and this and this are not things you will pursue for now. And you mean it. If I get you doing this, I seize the phone. I collect it. They may go and get from their peers. They may go and get from their friends. Do the ones you're supposed to do first. Let them get them understand exactly where you're driving at. It's not about you being wicked. Student, listen. Not about that your parents are being wicked, teachers are wicked. No, they are only trying to help you because they know you're so loose. You can't help yourself. They are the ones who put you under guide, put you under check, to put you under a tax master, is to flog you to track. So it is the social media. You go home out of the house, you leave your cable 24 hours. They are there. You have not. I won't forget a particular man. Every week he will buy books. Besides the children's, of course, every child will come to you, come home and tell your dad what you have learned for the week. There's a time for it. You sit down in the house, everybody will explain everything you have learned for the week. You dare not come home and do without doing that. He will also give you extra work. You will do. When he comes back and give a report, it's a must. That's how he patterned his home. You go and drink. Once you're back from the market, but you will come late, you drive out. Go with friends, you drink, you don't care what your children, you left everything in the hand of teachers, and they are the ones to do. They don't do assignments, they don't do anything. They are at home, they are watching cables. When they are not there, the fuel is on, the gen is on, they are busy. You just give them that loose life. There is no part, there's no restriction. You did not, as a father, you failed. As a mother, you failed. You couldn't put a restriction on these kids on how they should live. You are to learn to make rules and regulations. Every society, even Nigeria, has a constitution, has a rule that guides society. So you are the ones to make the rules. In this house, everybody reads. Once it's 8 p.m., you are out of the television set. Once it's so and so time, there are people in their family, they make days where the children are to watch television. Some make it alternating days, Mondays, Wednesdays, Friday. Some make it Tuesday, Thursday, and so time. There's a time frame for it. From so and so time, you are reading. From so and so to so and so time, you are sleeping. From so and so time, there is this regimented lifestyle. You are the one to create it. So don't blame it on social media. Don't blame it. This is the children are jet children. Then you are a jet father. You're not a jet father. You're not a jet father. Their jet is a jet age, and so everybody is they know not about jet age. Even jet has restriction. It has brake. Even the best car that they invented today has a brake. There's a regulator. There's a regulation on the movement. Everything is regulated. The fuel uses is regulated. The engines, everything is regulated. So what is regulated for me? Don't shift your responsibility to others. So poor learning culture, even in the home, because most times kids are in the home. The home contributes a lot. What goes on in the house contributes a lot to why they don't have the time to read. So when we encourage us today that please, you have a child, you're a child, listen to this, listen to me. Please develop that reading. It's a habit. Reading is a habit. When they see dad reads, they see mom reads, they see people around them reads, automatically they can cue in from that little child. As they are coming up, they see people around them and they read, they go through materials, and they read, they make notes, they do other things. It's important. Gradually they are beginning to get used to it. It's beginning to become a culture. It's beginning to form an impression in them, and this is how life should be. It should be part of them. So find time, expose them to reading. In fact, there are some schools where in their timetable they have time for reading. I'm talking about boarding school. In the boarding school is a must. There are periods where the kids have to read, either at night or in the morning. You have to read, whether you like it or not. Read. People learn by reading. You read by reading. So reading becomes a culture and a habit. So that is one of the causes of examination malpractice. When the kids cannot read, they cannot learn, they will definitely fall back to hell. Thank you very much for having me today. See you in the next episode where we go on to explore the causes of examination malpractice. For today henceforth, read your book. Next time you're going to read, please your friend. How do you make your friend? Your teacher, your brother, Mr.